Danny Acosta for Fight Magazine here with Ed Soares, manager and friend to Anderson Silva, the UFC middleweight champion, pound for pound king. That's going to make you smile a little bit.
Of course, it always does.
What's Anderson been doing in this layoff? You know, he had to get healthy, obviously, but what's been his focus in the time he's had off?
He's been training really, really hard. I've been to Brazil twice in the past 6-7 weeks, and he's taken this fight very seriously. He was taking the camp for Vitor very serious, and then when Damian Maia came on, he's taking the fight very, very serious. I mean, he's training harder than ever. He's quicker, faster, stronger than ever. Looks really good. I was just there, 2 weeks ago, and he's weighing around 194, just lean, looking good, and very quick.
Has there been a shift in focus because he's fighting a ground fighter like Damian Maia now as opposed to Vitor Belfort, primarily a big power puncher?
Not really. I mean, you know, one thing about Anderson, you know, I don't really get too involved in the training part. That's not my position, you know what I mean? But what I do notice is that Anderson trains for every fight the same. He likes to dictate the fight to where he wants to keep it. Of course, he has to put, you know, every different opponent have different dangers. Damian Maia's strong point is the ground. Vitor, his strong point was his hands. So, you know, there are some adjustments, but at the end of the day, he trains to fight his fight, not to fight against his opponents.
Not to look past Damian Maia, who's a very tough opponent, but Chael Sonnen's been talking a lot about Anderson Silva and you. Can you talk about whether or not Chael Sonnen is actually offending you guys? Because it seems like, you know, you put a lot of work into making sure that your fighters get the English lessons, you know, to be more marketable here, and him saying that Anderson Silva, you know, doesn't speak English because he hates his fans. Does that really offend you guys?
That doesn't offend me. It just obviously just shows he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. I mean, you know, Chael Sonnen has always been a really nice guy towards me. He's always been really cool. I heard those things he said about me, saying that I'm a rocket scientist, all these things. I mean, he could say what he wants, man. You know, at the end of the day, man, I mean, he knows what's up, man. He's no dummy. You know, at the end of the day, he behind the scenes, that's not him. But he's trying to hype up a fight. And unfortunately for him, when he talks about things, nobody pays attention, man. The only time he pays attention is when he's talking about Anderson Silva. So, I mean, he's found a little niche that gets some attention for him. And good, man. Good for him. You know, try to build up some fight, try to build something up, because unfortunately, nobody really cares about him. So whatever he's got to do to potentially build this fight up in the future, just keep on doing it.
You're not going to have that problem with Damian Maia, a very humble fighter. What problems do you see Damian Maia bringing to the fight, and do you feel that he is the worthy contender?
I do feel he's a worthy contender. I mean, the guy is, I believe he's 12-1. The one fight that he lost was a quick knockout, which can happen to anybody. He is a worthy contender. He finishes fights. Not very many of the fights go to decision. So he's a dangerous opponent. He's worked through some tough guys. I mean, look what he did to Chael Sonnen. He dismantled Chael Sonnen. So, I mean, if people are talking about Chael Sonnen deserving a title shot, then Damian Maia is right up there with him, deserving one also.
For Anderson, is there a difference between fighting a guy like Chael Sonnen, who's going to say a lot of negative things and potentially get him angry, as opposed to fighting a guy like Damian, who's, you know, humble and they're going to just go in there and be sportsmen? Does he get riled about these things?
He doesn't. He doesn't really get too riled about anything else, but he'll make him eat his words. Look what he did to Chris Lieben.
Yeah. By the end of 2010, where are we going to see Anderson Silva?
Still the middleweight champion of the world.
Ed Soares, Fight Magazine, Danny Acosta.